And with the quote, we create kind humans who speak kindness, show kindness, be a kind human. Be a kind human.
Hello, and welcome to What the Quote. I am your host, Tajuana, and once again, we get to spend some time together talking about quotes and how we can use them to create kindness with ourselves and with others. Just in case you're wondering, hey, Tajuana, what is a kind human? Kind humans, they speak kindness, they show kindness, and they stimulate kindness in other humans. Just in case you were wondering. So today we're going to, I'm going to give you the quote, and then we're going to dance, and then I'm going to come back and talk about the quote. So the quote is, "Forgive everyone for everything," by Ilyanla, Vanzant. Forgive everyone for everything. Okay, so if you're new to the podcast, you know that every podcast we take about 30 seconds to dance because it relaxes us and all those other good things that it does. It makes us feel good. The music is on and popping. And so here we go. Hey, you can do whatever you want to do. You can do the electric slide. You can do the robot. You can do, what's another dance? I don't know. One of Drake's challenges. I don't know. You can, take your pick. But here we go. Were y'all dancing? I'm just saying. Hey, it's a great time to take a break, get your heart rate up and pumping. So thanks for the quick 30-second dance. So let's talk a bit about the quote today. "Forgive everyone for everything," by Ilyanla, Vanzant. So this is a special quote to me because, so for one reason is because I believe that when I first heard the quote, I did not include myself in the everyone. So that's the first thing. So by everyone, I mean everyone, everybody. And you are also included in everyone. So what do I mean by that? There have been times in my life where I have been very hard on myself based on a lot of the decisions that I made and the choices that I made, that either I didn't listen to God or I didn't listen to my gut. And in those times when I didn't listen, the consequences didn't quite turn out the way that I wanted them to. And I have, over the course of many years, realized the value in forgiving myself. And a lot of times that looks different on every day. Sometimes forgiveness means accepting that I did the best I could with my ever-growing to-do list. This past year, I have been on a journey of personal development. And through that process, I have learned that a lot of times I am very hard on myself and I don't give myself grace. I don't give myself the grace that I give other people. Imagine that. So I'm choosing to give something to other people that I don't give to myself. And I'm learning that it all starts with me. That once I learn to forgive myself more, then I can learn to forgive other people. So there's the key is it all starts with me giving myself grace, understanding that I'm doing the best I can. And in those moments and situations where I later found out I shoulda, woulda, coulda, that I just chalk it up as a learning lesson. And I don't beat myself up. I don't keep running that same recording in my head. And I take the lesson, I get up, and I move on. One of the reasons why I chose this quote from Ilyanla is that, let me see. So it was July, I believe, of last year. I decided to enroll in her personal development class. So even though I am a certified life coach, I really felt that I needed a little more, I needed to grow a little more, and just so that I could expand and be more for my clients. And she has a spiritual life coach certification, but I really thought, okay, we're just gonna start with my me personally, so I can deal with my own stuff. And it was the greatest decision that I had made. It was impactful because it was something that I was doing for myself, and it required that I move past a lot of the thoughts and the choices that I had made in the past, and really, really required that I look at my life and my situation differently than I ever have. And so with this class, it required a lot financially because I have to fly to Maryland one weekend a month. And so it was a lot mentally, spiritually, emotionally, like you name it. And it brought everything up. So one of the things that Ilyanla says is forgive everyone for everything. And through this process of me learning more about myself and listening to a lot of the talks that she gives the students who are there for that weekend, I realized that forgiveness is a foundation for growth. And what I mean by that is if I am holding on to they did this, she didn't call me, she didn't do this, and I did this for them, and they didn't do this for me. If I'm holding on to all that, really, it doesn't allow me to be present the way I could be because, it's like weight, even as it relates to myself. I struggle with the imposter syndrome. And, well, let me say this. In the past, I have struggled with the imposter syndrome. And what that means is that I think there are times in the past where I have thought that I don't know enough. I got to learn. I got to go get another certification. Or I need to read another book. I need to take another class. I need something because I don't have enough knowledge and know-how within me at this present moment to believe that I can handle whatever comes my way. And what I am learning to do is to forgive myself for really setting myself up for failure, because I am not believing that God has instilled me with everything that I need to move into the places that I desire to go. And through this process of forgiveness, I have learned that all of us humans, we are doing the best we can. I mean, considering work and kids and responsibility and finances. And so, even if I interact with someone and I have a thought that, they were a little off, or they were abrupt, or she didn't return my text message, or whatever it is, that really I'm really not as important as I think I am in the lives of other people. And so it could just be that maybe she was having a bad day and it had nothing at all to do with me. But I, in my head, think, oh, were they this or Dennis this or no, they are doing the best they can. Just like me, I'm doing the best I can. And so a big part of this foundation of being a kind human is forgiveness, forgiving myself and forgiving others. And I know that we have all heard a lot about forgiveness, that it's like you drinking the poison, or all of these other very true things that unforgiveness does to us. All of those are true. And I look at forgiveness as my fist being balled up, because I'm holding on to, they did this, she did that, he did that, they did, I'm holding on to all this, but it doesn't leave an opening for grace or forgiveness or love, because my hands are closed and I can't put anything in my hand or my heart if it's closed. And even as it relates to love, because I know a lot of humans are, they want to find love, they have desire to find love. And I did too. What I realized is that if I have not forgiven the people who I have been in relationship with in the past, it doesn't open up me to love freely in the present. Because what I think it does is it keeps us on replay, where if the new person or the new boss says something, we remember what happened to our old boss when they said that. And maybe the new boss didn't even mean that. Maybe the new person in your life doesn't equate that to the baggage that you're carrying when they say this or respond a certain way. And what forgiveness does really is it opens up your heart to experience something new, to make a different choice. And that's the beauty of it, is when I can remember how great Red Lobster was, instead of, when I was 17, I worked at Red Lobster as a hostess. I loved it too. Okay, I digress. But, I met a guy, we dated for a short period of time, and he was just not very nice. So, but I made the choice to forgive him, because when I think about Red Lobster, I want that to be a great memory, not always attaching that to this guy who I dated who worked there. And so it's a way of reprogramming your thoughts and your experiences so that you remember it in a way that honors the way you are in the present. Because when we don't forgive, we think about and replay all of the negative situations and thoughts about that situation. So let's see if I have an example. I am a foodie. Food is extremely important to me. I'm the person who, when I get the crab legs and they're steamed properly and the butter and the garlic has been sauteed in a way that just allows the crab leg. Anyway, you get my point. I love crab legs. Well, I remember going to Red Lobster, funny enough. This was maybe a year ago. And the crab legs that I got, they were dry, they weren't very good. I mean, it was not a great experience. And so I ended up leaving Red Lobster and never going back. Because, Juicy came into play. But I remember every time I ride past Red Lobster, I remember, the last time I went there, the crab legs were not very great. When maybe they just weren't great that day. Because I could very well go back tomorrow and they'd be fantastic. And so if I am still holding on to, the crab legs at Red Lobster were horrible a year ago, I have not gone back. Really, I have not given them the opportunity to win back my business. The same thing happens with people who we loved or we have been in love with. So there's probably something about them that caused you to want to be in a relationship with them. And something didn't quite go right, which happens. But you can still look at that situation in a way that honors them as a human being without bringing up all of the residual they, this, he, that, she is. It can just be like, okay, it didn't work out. And so for me, when I think about relationships or friendships that are now in a different place, I don't want my insides to be caught up in, I kind of refer to it as my insides are raging, like they're, it kind of feels like there's a knife or a porcupine inside. And when I think about a person or a situation, all that comes up. Well, I don't want to feel that with anyone. And so one way I can release that is to realize that we are all doing the best we can. And even when people are hurting us, it may be that hurt is the only thing that they have been able to feel in their own life experience. And so you've heard of the thing of hurt people hurt people. I believe that. Just like I believe that as humans, we can all lead with love. And just because someone does something mean to me does not mean that I have to respond in kindness. It doesn't mean that I cannot respond in kindness. So if somebody cuts me off, I could call them a name In the past, I have called him a name, but I could also just let it go. Because if I don't, then I'm thinking about it. I should have gave him the finger. I say 4,000 cuss words. And none of that really, okay, they made a mistake. We went out to dinner with a couple just today, and I was going north, and we were at a light. I was passing a light, and so a car was coming the other direction, and they almost turned halfway into my lane. And I was just like, oh my gosh. But then I just kind of, went around a little bit and then just kept going straight and didn't really, re- react the way that I have in the past because it was a choice. I don't know what was going on in his car, but I'm sure he was not thinking. Hey, let me cut her off. And then, of course he wasn't thinking that. And so I'm learning that I can just let people be, and I don't have to be so attached to what is happening in the moment, that I can lead with love, and I can offer forgiveness so that I am able to move through life and experiences more freely. And so when Ilyanla says, forgive everyone, I believe she means everyone, like everybody. Your mom, your dad, your cousin, your siblings, the person who fired you, your employees, your employer, the lady who cut you off, the McDonald's attendant who didn't get your order right. Like, forgive everybody and forgive them for everything. When they didn't show up, when they were late, when somebody stole your money or broke your window in your car, or overcharged you, didn't complete work, whatever it is, forgive them for all that too. And I know that sounds so unheard of, and so maybe difficult, but just think about the one thing that I have learned about Ilyanla over these past 12 months is that she is very specific with her words. And there is a reason why she specifically used the words, forgive everyone for everything. So that's everybody for anything that they could have possibly done. Think about that. Everybody for everything. She even has a shirt made. She's got t-shirts with forgive everyone for everything on them. Very specific words. It's not, oh, I can, forgive my mom for this, but not for that. Or I can forgive Peter for this, but not for that. Like, no. Forgive everyone for everything. That's the quote. And so, okay, I know I just simmer with that for a minute. But now we're going to move to the coaching corner because, of course, I have to give you an assignment that will help the shifting process of forgiveness for you, for everything, everybody for everything. And that would be to make a list of 3 to 5 people who has done something for you, something to you, some injustice to you, who ghosted you, who stole from you, a list of you take your pick. Make a list of 3 to 5 people who have done you wrong in some way. Okay? 3 to 5. and then forgive them. Now, I know that you're like, listen, Coach T, that seriously, like that's what you want me to do? Yes, I want you to forgive them. And you can do them a number of ways. You can do that a number of ways. You can write a letter. Don't mail it. You can write a letter about what happened and then say in the letter that you're going to forgive them. You can write, I forgive so and so for 473,000 times until you really believe in your heart that you have forgiven them. Or you can close your eyes and imagine that you are having an exchange or experience with this person after you have chosen to forgive them. So what that looks like is you have moved past unforgiveness into forgiveness. And now you are interacting and responding with that person in a way or the way before they hurt you. And so if that is, let's say that is a situation with your child, and maybe your child cursed in front of you, or I don't know, made a choice that you didn't want them to make, and you holding it over their head, and you are, bringing it up every time. Let's say that you move from that to forgiving them and realizing we didn't make the choices that our mother wanted us to make either. Okay, number one. And then you just close your eyes and imagine you having a great conversation with your child and laughing, and they're telling you information about them or their day, and you're doing the same. So you're really connecting on a different level. So those are just some of the ways that you can move from unforgiveness to forgiveness. Okay. And then at me, at Tajuana Hill on, I don't know, Facebook or Instagram, or I've started TikTok. And let me know how that's going for you. I would love to hear how you are incorporating forgiveness in your life. So that is another episode in the books. But hey, before we go, my theme song.
And with the quote, we create kind humans who speak kindness, show kindness. Be a kind human. Be a kind human.